Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to a Thursday stream. Almost the last stream of the week. So rejoice. Tomorrow's Friday, and today Bitcoin has been just ranging, getting some sideways price action, and some alts had bigger drawdowns because we can appreciate that Bitcoin dominance has been climbing up a little bit. We will get into that in a few more minutes. First, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was threatening to have a breakdown inside of the range of this accumulation range that has been going on for 3 months plus, and we had some absorption. We had some buy-in here when we came all the way down to almost 70K, I think 70K and $60 or so and change. I think it was motivated due to a flush on perps. We had like a 600 million wipeout on open interest. So when we saw that flush, that probably a liquidation cascade, then price got reabsorbed and came back to outside of the range. So just a nothing burger candle, to be honest with you. If you go to the 12-hour, maybe you can get a little bit more worried because you're working on a bearish engulfing candle, and you may starting to see bearish divergence here from this high to this lower high on the MACD histogram, whereas you have equal highs here on price. But if you have a big candle here, if you have another retest to the range highs and you get bought back to the outside again, you could print another strong positive momentum on the MACD histogram. So your whole bearish divergence thesis could get invalidated really easily. So that's on the 12-hour, but I always try to stay on the daily and higher time frames because I think they're more reliable. So not much on Bitcoin, just trading sideways. Nothing burger candle. Was trying to bearishly engulf at one point, but as we said, it got bought back above the higher part of the range, and we're currently just down 0.45% in the day. So nothing to get worried about. Although it feels way worse because some alts had larger drawdowns, and we will appreciate that on BTC dominance right away. I also want to look at Bitcoin against the SPX because that one's looking a little bit worse than on the USD pair. We had this breakout on Tuesday, then we came back inside yesterday, and today we're printing a bearish engulfing candle and coming back inside of the range here of this accumulation range. So it's going to depend on how the USD pair reacts to the following days. If we actually had a false breakout here, or it's just going to grind sideways for a little bit before having that markup and coming to test this neckline of this inverse head and shoulders that we possibly have here. We know that the technical target for this inverse head and shoulders, it will be almost at all-time highs for the SPX. So yeah, just Bitcoin not doing much, to be honest, and nothing to be worried or concerned just about. If you start losing 70K and you come back to test 67K again and you lose 67K, then I think there's a high chance you'll be going to 64K or somewhere around there to put in hopefully another higher low. But as long as you stay on the upside of this range here of the upper side of the channel, then I think you'll be fine. Otherwise, you fall back inside of it. You might test 69K, you lose 69K, then it's 67 0.5, and then if you lose that one, you're going to go test 64K and $900. So yeah, that's your Bitcoin. I want to go to Bitcoin dominance because it's been really interesting what's it's been doing on the daily time frame, what it might signal if we actually get that breakout that a lot of people have been talking on the timeline, and what it appears to be in order since how the price has been reacting, and since we actually broke out of this descending channel. I think Bitcoin dominance might get an impulse up because you see that you have this local small inverse head and shoulders here. You have the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, and you might be confirming this low to be a double bottom. And also you had bullish divergence that we identify here on stream. You had a lower low on the MACD histogram, while you had most likely like equal lows on price. So that was a bullish divergence that we saw coming. And now you have this inverse head and shoulders potentially breaking out because you went to test the neckline, then you failed, and now you're trying to push for a breakout, plus working on a bullish engulfing candle and the highest daily candle close on Bitcoin dominance since May 20. So that's something to be paying attention to, because this might signal the Bitcoin run and might signal that Bitcoin is once again going to suck up liquidity out of the altcoins for its run, and that maybe altcoin season could have to wait for a little bit longer now. You're actually printing strong positive momentum on the MACD histogram still, and you could run all the way up to basically this cycle highs on BTCD, which is at 56, almost 57%, which is almost a 5%, 4.5% move from here. So if that's if that happens for Bitcoin, basically running to the upside, it's just gonna mean that it's gonna take liquidity from alts. And alts are most likely going to underperform. There will be some outperformers to BTC. I'm sure it's been happening for 18 months now. But overall, Bitcoin might outperform the rest of the market until we see Bitcoin trading at around 80 to 90K, like Bitcoin really deep into price discovery, where you might have an appetite for the rest of the market participants for risk. You might find people that might want to get into alts and more riskier plays when you see Bitcoin trading way above its all-time highs. And that's when you could see this Bitcoin dominance roll over, because this seems like a staircase up and probably an elevator down pattern, if you could put it that way. So I think if we get that move, then 57% retest might be in order. I've been repeating this like a parrot on stream, but everyone's expecting for BTCD to go to 60%. That's the obvious technical target, and you know that when there's too much consensus on a target, you don't usually get that target, and it's usually gets front run. So that's why I think 57% is strong of a target. Right before 60%, you see it's been a clear inflection point in the past. You used it as support in June 2019, again in September 2022, and then you back tested it as resistance in April 10, 2021. So I think that's a big level not to be disregarded. Maybe a second stop at 57%, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, and you could be talking about topping on BTCD, especially if you see Bitcoin running into all-time highs with strength. We also we were checking the bearish divergence that BTCD had on the 3-day. So as you can see here, he had lower highs while doing higher highs on price. So maybe we put in another positive momentum high here, lower high on the histogram. We do something like this. I'll show you. So you maybe put in another small momentum high here with BTCD pushing into new highs, and you get a further deep bearish divergence. You get a stronger divergence here because you have basically 3 or more lower highs on the MACD histogram. And if that has confluence with the 57% level and also has confluence with BTC pushing into highs with strength, I think that could be the time for finally that altcoin season. But for the time being, if we're going to see that BTC breakout, I think we'll have some higher price actions on BTC dominance, especially having this bullish divergence starting to play out, and also this inverse head and shoulders starting to break out of the neckline. So I think that's something to have in mind if you want to look position yourself into alts. You might as well try to pick altcoins that could be outperforming Bitcoin, like Solana, Link, and Injective, and Render did in October through November and December of 2023. It's always hard to pick them before, but it's just what I would try to do right now. Otherwise, it could be better performing to just hold BTC. But I know that most of the people and most of the traders in crypto don't hold BTC. I mean, they could just hold it as an investment. But yeah, look at that. Bitcoin just pretty much absorbing all of the selling that it did before, and altcoins that I've been checking has not recovered as strong as BTC is doing. Damn, 55 more minutes till the candle close, boys. And we might even close green. How wild would that be, you know? It's just people are too impatient sometimes, I think. So that's your BTCD. Let's check out USDT since we're talking about dominance. So we have this breakdown out of this bear flag on BTC dominance. Today, yeah, just a nothing burger candle. Nothing too significant. Continuing to build negative momentum on the MACD histogram, and failing to engulf that yesterday candle. So yeah, not much to say about USDT dominance, being honest. Tomorrow we're going to have a 3-day close, and the negative momentum continues to build on the histogram. So yeah, not a big development on USDT dominance, the same as Bitcoin. Let's go to see Ethereum for the Ethereum bulls here. So as you can see, altcoins has not been showing strength today. The recovery for Bitcoin has been way better. It's just Ethereum might be working on a bearish engulfing candle on yesterday's candle or not. I guess we'll see in 53 more minutes. Continuing to build strong negative momentum on the MACD histogram. But yeah, just not too concerned about Ethereum, honestly. We'll have to look at the ETH dominance in order to get a grip, because yeah, So yesterday we had a perfect retest to the 200 simple moving average. Look at this, chat. Look at this. We already said that as long as we don't break out of the 5,621 Satoshi level here, which is a strong level from history, even from the 2017 cycle, you'll see it's been regarded either as support or as resistance. So as long as we don't have that breakout, you cannot be full risk on Ethereum dominance, and that's probably going to come after we have, or at the same time, basically, we have that Bitcoin dominance rollover. But yeah, we had this incredible backtest yesterday, and we got bought back up. So maybe we get a higher low around the 200 simple moving average, and we start working. We start doing some accumulation, some reaccumulation here after this impulse. Maybe you need to do something like that, hopefully, because this could, honestly, chat, this could drop way lower than here and still could be a market structure break from this bear trend. As long as you put in a higher low than this low and you break out of this critical level here, then the Ethereum bulls are in for a ride against BTC. Let's look at how the SPX closed today. Wow, so all-time highs for the SPX today, traded at all-time highs. It couldn't close the highest daily candle close ever because that was yesterday. But he had price discovery today. How can you be bearish when this is happening on stocks? Honestly, it's just hard for me. Yeah, bullish confluence here on the oscillators. A higher low on the Instagram, a higher low on price. And there isn't much TA to do here, honestly, because you're just ripping into price discovery on a bull market. So I'm sure Nasdaq did price discovery as well. Yeah, Nasdaq didn't even move today after just such a big candle from yesterday. So people didn't take that much profit. That's wild. I want to jump into Solana. So Solana, it's in fact doing a bearish engulfing candle of the previous candle here, but it's currently sitting above $169.22, which is a very real level from history, as you'll see from the past cycle. Was a critical inflection point here. Tested as resistance twice, then back tested as support, and then when it was lost, it was just basically lights out, as some analysts like to waffle about. So as long as you're upside, as long as you're above that level, this could be a level retest here, and it actually could be getting confirmed as a support. I just wish it wasn't a bearish engulfing candle, but as long as you don't lose that level, then I'm gonna remain bullish on Solana. Otherwise, you could see lower prices here because there is not much air. There's not much to do between these two ranges, between the $170 and the $143. It's just basically straight up and down territory. It's just what basically does around here. So if you fail to hold on about that level and you continue to have daily candle closes below it, then we get careful on Solana. Maybe going to look for a higher low, hopefully above 143, $144. Sold to Bitcoin, I remember, was doing good things. So yeah, you had this double tap and confirmation as maybe support for this 23,847 sat level here. But yeah, it's just a clear level too. Same as with the Sol USD pair. Really, really critical inflection point. You've seen that it's been regarded on this cycle as well. So let's hope it holds. Otherwise, maybe go test the 200 simple moving average or work on another higher low regarding these past two lows. But it might start to look bad for Sol BTC because you had this three rising valleys pattern here. You had the confirmation breakout line here, and you had this basically breakout, but then you had a throwback, and now it's failing to hold on the throwback. So it could develop into lower prices against BTC. Maybe it's confluent with that Bitcoin dominance run that we're talking about. It's being clear, I'm not bearish on Solana. It's just Bitcoin might have outperformed it for a while if this setup fails to play out. And actually, I said it on the Tuesday stream. Bulkowski said that three rising valleys patterns like the one that we have here, when they have throwbacks, most of them had worse performance than the ones that did not. So maybe the possibilities or the chances and the odds are not as strong right now here as when you were down here, or at least breaking out of here. So maybe if you wanted to play it safe, you could wait until a breakout line reclaim on a daily candle close and then position yourself for the trade and cut it if we lose the breakout line. That's like the edge that I can give you on the technical side for this pattern. Okay, let's look at whiff or weef, how some people call it. So the same as Sol BTC here, it had this three rising valleys accumulation pattern. This is the breakout line, the one from here at the $3.66. You had a breakout, you had a daily candle close above it, and then you had a throwback here, which means that you failed to sustain price above the breakout line. And if you're failing right now here to have an impulse after this throwback, maybe it's just it means that the pattern is not going to play out. It means that the edge might not perform as well as an edge as this pattern where you don't have this throwback. So food for thought. I'm not calling for the death of whiff, but if you were in this trade and we're hoping for the run, maybe you could just wait until you get a reclaim for the breakout line and position yourself from there and cut it if you have a daily candle close below the breakout line, and just ride it if you don't. That, I think that's a properly technical way to trade this setup. Once you get this throwback, you need to get a confirmation of a breakout line, daily candle close above, so you can have the better odds in your favor. With BTC, so yeah, just on the mid range, between this range, this actually was actually the top of the range. So you could be looking, if you failed to hold this mid range here, you could be looking to the bottom of the channel perfectly against BTC. If that happens and you're working on your first negative momentum on the MACD histogram since May 25th, and your lowest daily candle close since May 26th. So yeah, not so good on whiff against BTC here. You could just put in another higher low, hopefully. But if this was going to be traded just on the technicals, you will be looking for not getting on a trade here. The place to put in a trade was on when it was overbought here on the upper range. But if you were down here and you're failing to hold the mid range, then you're probably going to look at the bottom side of the range for a reaction. Render was doing a lot of good things yesterday too. Just some sideways price action, losing negative momentum, so it's not printing new strong negative momentum, and you have a hidden bullish divergence here, possibly starting to play out, which is a continuation divergence of this long-term uptrend from history. So yeah, maybe if you wanted to, you could position yourself here, go for a long, get in validation of on the lows here. If you fail to sustain price action up here, you could be looking for a long here and probably targeting at around all-time highs or somewhere around there, just based on this divergence. This hidden bullish divergence can possibly starting to play out in the following days if we get to print positive green momentum. Render BTC was also doing good things yesterday, but today just not bearishly engulfing, losing that negative momentum as well. So it's not printing strong red negative momentum yet. And you also had that hidden bullish divergence on the MACD histogram here when you have a lower low on momentum and a higher low on price. And you're also sitting on this ascending Browning wedge. So on a really long-term uptrend and a really long-term bullish pattern. So yeah, I think this is the last point because I've drawn this trend line like 3 times now. I think this is the last time that I can draw it, honestly. So if you fail to hold it, then yeah, I think you might put in a higher low closer to here, to the 200 simple moving average. Jupiter is something that we've been talking about too. So working on a bearish engulfing candle, 3 rising valleys pattern here. Yeah, it could come back into a retest of this low here for sure, and the pattern will still be valid. It's just an accumulation pattern. But you need to remember that the pattern is confirmed once you have a daily candle close above the breakout line, and that's how most technical traders take the trade. I just like taking it down here because it has a better risk to reward up here rather than down here. You just have worse odds of it playing out when you're up here, because down here it could turn into anything else. It could just turn into further redistribution, but up here you're just talking about the pattern itself, getting confirmed, and you could just cut it if you start getting closes below here. But the pattern can still be valid if you're up here, you get a breakout, and then it turbo dumps on your entry, and then come back down here, put on another higher low, and then moon. That could happen, and the pattern could still be valid. It will be just a throwback. So that's why it's harder to manage your risk when you're above here. So losing negative momentum, my bad, here on Jupiter. So nothing to be too concerned about. Just a red candle, a bearish engulfing candle, and as long as it doesn't get any follow through, you'll be fine. ENA had a setup as well. You have this inverse head and shoulders here. This is the neckline. This could be a back test to the neckline, to be honest. If you get a reaction here out of the neckline and you don't get a daily candle close below it, getting back inside of this range, then I think this could be a prime for another trade. If you didn't get in here on stream while we were talking on stream about this red shoulder live, we had actually identified on this candle. Can you believe that? This is like where we said, like, okay, this is potentially an inverse head and shoulders, and it's inverse head and shoulders season. Look what Pepe did. Look at what basically I think Floki and a bunch of other coins, Shiv, did with this inverse head and shoulders. So this could be another opportunity for ENA. Just losing positive momentum, but it's no problem. They could turn it back on anytime. So Pepe, just really elevated, catching a lot of bits still. Still increasing negative momentum on the MACD histogram. Was bearishly engulfing at one point today, but failing to do so for the time being. A lot of wicks to the upside, a lot of buying absorption. So yeah, maybe I will wait for a little bit of a dump here, as we said on the Fibonacci retracement levels, in order to get in, because you're sitting on the 0.236 Fibonacci retracement. And if you are actually able to get a reaction out of this and a continuation right away, then it's turbo bullish. When you just have like the first retracement and you continue to trend higher, on this case, it means that the uptrend is so strong that it couldn't even give you a 0.382 or 0.5 Fibonacci retracement, and it's just really bullish. But for the time being, I'm gonna sit and wait. I have a small bag of Pepe, nothing crazy, just a moon bag from what I took from this inverse head and shoulders that we also identified live in stream, chat. Come on, you need to have some patience. Need to let things develop. But that's your Pepe. Let's look at Pepe BTC. It's probably, yeah, at around the same. I drew this like Cheeto support here, Cheeto on the door support, bearishly engulfing yesterday's candle, increasing negative momentum. And yes, the same as with USD pair. Actually, it's just look really similar on the first Fibonacci retracement. If you get a reaction right around here and a reclaim of the uptrend, then you have to long it. No financial advice, but you get what I'm saying. Okay. I want to get into Sui. I haven't been checking Sui for a while. It's been having bad price action. But right now it's doing something interesting, because a lot of coins were down today. and Sui is just staying green today. Hey, what's up, Eddie? So I don't know. I haven't taken a trade on Sui for a while, just a few months. But you're finding support maybe on a critical resistance area from last year. You see, it was back tested as resistance here, and it actually turbo dumped, and then it was back tested as resistance here. And once you broke out, you had this huge dildo of a candle, and then you back tested as a support again when we had that liquidation cascade for the war event, and now you just reclaimed it and having price action above it, just increasing positive momentum on the MACD histogram, working on your highest daily candle close since May 21st. So there might be something brewing here on SUI. I just don't like that much the coin because it's not a meme, it's not Solana. It doesn't have that much total value lock, it doesn't have that developer community that Solana has, yada, yada, yada. But you saw what BNB did this week. It reached all-time highs before Solana. And I don't think there's a strong developer community on BNB, and I don't think there's like a strong community on BNB either. It's just a top 10 market cap coin, and look what it did. So if the chart's good for SUI, it might be worth taking a bet. And actually, where I do have some maybe edge on SUI, because on the USD pair, it just looks good, but I don't have any edge at all. It's just looks technically good because you reclaim that critical area from history, which is this one. You're above some levels where usually price is up or down. Here, you see that between these two levels, just price goes up or goes down. It doesn't chop that much. But where I do have somewhat of a technical edge, it's on SUI BTC. So, and it's also interesting because as we said on the beginning of the stream, it looks like Bitcoin dominance might take a small run here, or at least a continuation of its uptrend, given the bullish divergence that it has on the MACD histogram, and given the inverse head and shoulders that it has on the daily time frame. So having in mind that you need to outperform BTC for the time being, you might be looking into coins that have a strong setup against BTC. And here you have it. You have SUI BTC completely in the dumpster, This was a critical support from here. You had a small deviation in October. You actually had an inverse head and shoulders pattern here as a bottom pattern. Then you reclaimed the level and started back testing as support. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Chat was back tested as support 3 times before having this massive up mark against BTC. It's just a small period of time. Also, if you see from top to bottom, it was only a 48-day trade. So just on a month and a half, SUI gained 176% against Bitcoin. Almost a 3x. So you have this M shape here, which is a bullish butterfly. This harmonic pattern usually means that a reaction will come, and that you will have probably a back test to the upper side of this M shape. This is what this harmonic pattern means. So you also have a reaction here at this inflection levels, which is basically at the bottom of the dumpster here, the same levels as November, October, December 2023. You're confirming them as support again. You had a reaction here in April. You had a reaction here mid-April, mid-May, and now the beginning of June, starting to have some development here. I don't know what the SUI team is cooking. I don't know anything about. I don't have any news catalyst for the token itself. I'm just looking at the chart, and the chart is giving me basically a dream type of setup of SUI against BTC. Obviously, it's not a meme. It's not going to round 1,000% against BTC in a week. But you could access leverage here with this coin. You could also leverage yourself if you go find some memes on Sui, and they have a good setup. You could also buy some memes. So if Sui BTC actually performs, I'm sure your memes on Sui will perform as well. So you could have some leverage that way. And besides this whole confluence of this bullish butterfly plus backtest or a type 2 return, you could also have a third return here at the same level. That could happen. I'm not discarding that. But I think on a type 2 return, it's just worth the chance of going long. And you also have this. Look at this, chat. What's this? Can somebody in the chat tell me what's going on here? What is going on the MACD histogram here? Oh, wait. I'll wait if someone can tell me what happened between March 5th, April 15, and now May 15. No one? Okay. You have a bullish divergence here on the MACD histogram where you have higher lows on the negative momentum. It means that the sellers had least and least momentum, they had less of an effort here. They pushed down with less strength, although they pushed the price lower. So that means that this could be seller's exhaustion here. Of course, it's starting to print green momentum on the MACD histogram for almost 20 days now, but it's just now that you're having this back test to this low here, probably confirmation low for this low on SUI BTC. And I wanted to take as much time as was possible here on this setup because I actually found it today, and I just think it's a dream of a trade. Most people won't be patient enough to see it develop because you're in a massive downtrend, and it usually takes some time to have a trend reversal. But this is what you're looking for. This is what you're trying to get if you're looking for a trend reversal. You're at minimum risk position right now. You're at minimum risk basically situation here. You could just, I don't know, risk let's call it an 8%, a little bit less against BTC on SUI, and have maximum upside. I always lose a viewer when I start asking things to the audience. I don't know why, but I'll keep doing it. So if you're going just for the first target, you will be looking at a 3-to-1 risk to reward here against BTC. And let's not even talk about going into the 200 simple moving average here, just on a bearish retest. Okay, no worries. So even if you had a bearish retest of the 200 simple moving average, you will be talking about a 5-to-1 risk to reward and a 42% upside on SUI BTC. What's trivia? I don't know what's that. So really interesting setup here developing on SUI BTC, especially where you might, I'm not sure, you cannot be sure, it's just what the chart's saying, you might be getting a continuation of the uptrend on Bitcoin dominance. Just important to find stuff that looks strong against Bitcoin, you know. And I also took a look at SUI against Sol. Doesn't have, so yeah, it doesn't look as good as the SUI BTC. You know, it cannot look as good as SUI BTC because Sui BTC looks basically like a dream. But you could be entertaining. You could entertain an idea here. So you could be talking about possibly a double bottom here. I know this bottom's lower, but it's not that much lower, if you take into perspective how large of a structure this is, it's just a little bit lower than how big this downtrend is. My God. So basically, Solana outperforming the living crap out of Sui since basically Sui's inception. So you might be talking about not a full trend reversal here, maybe just a small bear rally here on Sui against Solana, because I'm not gonna be calling for a bottom on such a downtrend here. I'm not saying the trend's gonna reverse for good here, but you have a reclaim, which was this low from December 25 of December to 2023, and you just broke out above it, having a daily candle close above it too. And also, yeah, it's the thing with Sui, right? The FA fundamental analyst. But yeah, the BNB FA wasn't as great too. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no one using Binance Smart Chain right now, and there's not a there isn't a lot of developers building on BSC. It didn't have any fundamental analysis for going into all-time highs this week. Maybe just a resolution trade of CC going to jail and the exchange being fine and whatnot could be a reflexive trade out of that whole FUD that everyone was putting on BNB. But you had all-time highs on BNB today, and the chain basically does nothing. No one trades on BSC. Just a centralized shit layer on Ethereum. So yeah, it's just if the FA was probably better, this trade would be more crowded. This wouldn't be here. Basically, Sui would be way higher than here. It wouldn't be getting us outperformed by Solana here. So I get your point, but just on a technical perspective, it looks kind of good. And you also have this Bollinger Band compression here and having a daily candle close above it for the time being. And I can't remember when Sui to Solana Bollinger Bands were this compressed. Just a 7.5% compression. That's wild, because usually it's way higher. I'll show you, chat. Here is a 25% compression, and here it got really compressed, and it's actually started a big move to the downside. So the compression's real. In here, it was an 11% compression, so higher than the compression that we have now. In here, before this up mark, a 47% compression. So I think, I'm not sure, like a 13% compression here. So I think Bollinger Bands on the daily might be the most compressed they have ever been in their history. So volatility is incoming. Either way, to the upside or to the downside. But when you have this kind of compression, let's see if here it's narrower. I just can't find. No. God damn. Are you looking at this, chat? Are you looking at how compressed the effing Bollinger Bands are? And you also have this bullish divergence on Sui against Sol. Oh my god, I don't like the coin at all. Being honest with you, like I don't like the name. I don't like, and I've used it. I've used Sui. I've staked Sui. I've lended Sui. I've tried the protocols. Everything. I tried it in March. It has good user experience. It works properly. The fees are cheap. It's fast. But I don't like the FA. What Eddie is saying here. I don't like the fundamentals of it. But I guess that in crypto is really reflexive. When you have higher prices and you have a good looking chart, then the fundamentals starts to look really good too. It's just how it goes. Everyone was shitcoining on Binance Smart Chain the past 2 days because of the BNB all-time highs. So yeah, I just wanted to take my time here on Sui and show you guys this. I'll come back to this setup for sure on next week and a few more days, and you have to be patient because you're confirming yesterday's bullish engulfing candle and you're having a breakout out of the Bollinger Bands. If you start getting consecutive daily candle closes above the Bollinger Bands and you start getting this Bollinger Bands expansion, Sui is going to go for a run against Sol. It's either going to mean that if we get a dump, Sui will dump way less than Sol. And if we get an uptrend, Sui is going to outperform the living F out of Solana. That's what I wanted to say about Sui. Okay, I want to look at Injective as well because I was having a good day too. Wow, 5%, damn. Look, this coin, it didn't even, at one point when we had that flush on altcoins, I think Injective was like 0.10% up on the day, and it recovered basically everything after the flush. Let's look at this. Let's go to the lower time frame. Yeah, look at that. It's basically at the same levels before having that flush. So Injective's getting some buying pressure here because none of the other altcoins that I've been watching had this recovery here. So Injective has an inverse head and shoulders pattern here. I'm not going to count this crazy liquidation wick because this could probably be an exchange type of data. Maybe it had this wick on Binance, but maybe on some other exchange it didn't have the wick. So I think it doesn't mess with the structure here. You have the left shoulder, the right shoulder, and then left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, and the measure move target for. Let's look at this. Measure move target for. Oh, no, I think it's the other way around. It's from the top. So it's at around 26%. Let's go conservative, and say it's a 26% measure move from the neckline here on Injective. Let's see what happens if it plays out. 26%. Okay. So basically at $35 Injective. If you get a breakout out of this inverse head and shoulders here. You also have no, you don't have any divergence here. You just have bullish confluence. You're printing strong positive momentum, working on your highest daily candle close since May 20. So basically, just recovering everything that happened here after this big upmark from May 20. Interesting. And also Injective BTC, because it could be Bitcoin season soon. So I want to look at. Okay, so I don't have any harmonics here. This could potentially be a dragon, but no. So I don't have any harmonics here as we have on SUI BTC, but injective BTC is definitely looking interesting as well because it's staying and finding support above this resistance area. It's really very real from the 2021 cycle here. You can see it acted as resistance. Also here, back tested as resistance on September 9, 2021. Back tested as resistance on April 26th of 2023, man. Look how real this level is. And once you had a breakout here, had a small retest here, confirming as a support, and then you just send it. So this is the crazy altcoin liquidation event. Backtest the level as support, and then have a twice of a retest of this level. And also, let's see if you have some bullish divergence. If you count just the candle closes, you could say there's a bullish divergence here, where you have this low and this higher low, and you have this low and this lower low. If you were just counting on the candle close, if you were not counting on the wicks. So injective BTC, bro, it looks decent too. I don't have that much of a technical narrative as SUI BTC, but it doesn't look bad. You might be confirming this low here, just one low, and then this second major low here. Interesting. Let's see what else is red for. What else is green for today? On a day like this, DYDX. Yeah. No edge on the oscillators. DYDX. Working on your highest daily candle close since May 6th. It's a lot of time. Building positive momentum. And currently maybe back testing this channel upper range as support. I haven't looked at DYDX much against BTC or anything, but this is a pretty large structure. It's basically floored. God damn. And on the weekly time frame, you might be working on a pattern here. Do you know which pattern this could be, Eddie? Or anyone in the chat? On the weekly time frame for DYDX? Oh, wait. You have seen this pattern before. Yeah, exactly. Tres valles ascendentes. Tres valles? Something like that. Tres valles. Yeah. 3 rising valleys. Why? Because you have 3 lows here, each low being higher than the next one, and the high after the second low is higher than the high of the first low here. And this is on the weekly time frame. This is pretty wild. It might take a lot of time to play out because the pattern basically started developing on June 2022, deep within the bear market. But this high here, it's what gives you the pattern, basically. I mean, obviously the other 3 lows as well. But when you have this higher high regarding this high here, is when you get a confirmation that, okay, maybe something's building here. And okay, I'm going to go through this again. The technical way, the proper way to trade this kind of patterns that you need a breakout out of this breakout line here on this higher high, and that's when you go long and you invalidate and you cut if you lose it. But for me, I seem to find better risk to reward going long when the third low might be getting put in, and then see if the pattern gets confirmed. But either way, looks beautiful on DYDX on a high time frame. If you have patience, this could turn into a really good trade. But nothing to do on what the daily is doing right now. So I don't seem to find any kind of structure in the daily time frame. It's actually on a bear trend, but it could be maybe if we take out this high here, we put in a higher high, and then a higher low, and then you have a market structure break and possibly go test the 200 simple moving average. So that's green on the day. GMX was way higher before I saw it. So having a hard time having a daily candle close above the 200 simple moving average here. What is this coin doing on the long term? Okay. So you have this inverse, this head and shoulders, left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, then you nuked. Then you came back here, put in a lower high, then a lower low, then maybe rallying into another lower high. We'll see. But it doesn't look as good on the high time frame as DYDX. Just have bearish confluence on the oscillators. Okay, what else? Some China coins are up in the day. I don't look at this much, to be honest. This is the weekly. So here we have another potential 3 rising valleys. Yeah. That's your breakout line here. Long ways to go for this China coin. It actually has confluence with this weekly candle close there. I'm not going to touch TFX. I don't care what the hell is doing on the daily, but just hold soul, bro. The trivia. Okay, have fun, bro. Acknowledge quiz of the bar. Okay. All right, have fun. Yeah, I don't like China coins that much. I just wanted to see relative strength on a day like this. Mana also staying green today. Haven't charted Mana in a while. Decentraland. Damn. Okay. Let's look at some things here. Let's look at some levels. Okay. Possible inflection areas. And to the downside here. Yeah, it's very real. Maybe here as well. Let's get a little bit more granular. Okay. And let's see. Potential inverse head and shoulders. Maybe. Maybe. Let's see oscillators. No edge. Continuing to build positive momentum. Working on your highest daily candle close since April 22nd. So that's a while. It looks good. I will wait until possibly a breakout out of 48 cents, 49 cents. Maybe. I just don't like what it's been doing in the past. Could be up today. Floki, is it ever going to stop? It's just working on the highest daily candle close ever. Hype in the chat, bro. Hype for Floki. Just having, once you cleared out this line here from previous all-time high and daily candle close, it was just game on. Look at this coin. It's been building positive momentum forever. So yeah, one more minute for the highest daily candle close ever on Floki. Only in crypto. What else is green? RPL. Yeah, this one has a legit inverse head and shoulders here. For real. Okay, I'm gonna come back to this. I just want to see what else. Close green. 1 inch. BNB, damn it. Oh, wow. All-time high. Daily candle close for BNB in 33 seconds, chat. On Dime? Nah. Yeah, you need further development on Dime before getting excited. I'll look at RPL here. Okay. Can be a, what's the other level though? I think it might be this one. Yeah. I think it's at around here. Something like that. And you have bullish divergence here on RPL. This is decent setup here. Or maybe we Yeah, you have somewhat of a divergence, I think, because it's like an equal low. I'm not gonna count it since it's not that clean. And then the neckline here. Let's go into a measure move. Favorite part. So it's like a 25% upside from the breakout at around here. Going to get into more possible support and resistance levels. Yeah, that one's real for sure. This one possibly too. He had a lot of. There you go. Okay. Interesting. Wonder how RPL BTC looks. Looks horrible. But this may have bullish divergence here. It's like the same. Or you have, what do you have here? You have like hidden bullish divergence. Yeah. And you don't have that clean inverse head and shoulders set up as on the USD pair. Okay, let's go see how Bitcoin closed. It's daily candle. So yeah, as we were saying, nothing burger candle, just sideways. Didn't get a bearish engulf. So that's just nothing to be too concerned about, to be honest with you. Positive momentum still building. So pretty nice. Okay, guys, that's going to be it for me. Thank you for tuning in, participation, liking the stream, and overall just watching and bearing with me for an hour and 13 minutes. I hope that you like the stream. If you have any suggestions that you would like me to do, fix, add, or whatever to stream, I will gladly hear them. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.